Boss Livestream show, which is all about shining a light on female founders and women doing extraordinary things in business. And I'm incredibly excited to have the wonderful Kerry Bolton as my guest today. So thank you so much for doing this, Kerry.
Thank you for inviting me, Jules. It's been exciting to hear that I'm going to be on this.
Well, it's great to be interviewing you, and I really appreciate it because I know you're feeling terrible today.
Yeah.
So it's an extra bonus that you've made the time. So I really appreciate it. Let's start off by telling everybody what it is that you do and why you set it up.
Okay, so I have a business called Caring Lotus. I set this up 3.5 years ago. I set it up mainly because I saw an issue in the industry with so many, I think, money hungry people rather than focusing on the clients themselves.
So
And
this
what we
is an NDIS. Let me just interrupt. So it's an NDIS support, isn't it? Just so that we.
So what Caring Lotus is I wanted to give back. So this industry, NDIS, is pretty much, it's flooded at the moment. A lot of people sort of have heard about it now. But there was a lot of people that came in the industry, I think, for the wrong reasons, of to just make money rather than to really give the care and the support. And I've had I guess in a way, the privilege to work for some of them, which pushed me in the direction to start my own company. Sometimes you learn through the challenges in your life on how to become better and stronger and do things yourself. So that's what happened with me.
Oh my God, I love that. Go on.
So yeah, 3.5 years ago, I was actually in a bullying situation in the workplace, and a lot of people were having the same problem with one particular bully. And I woke up, I remember on my birthday, it was my birthday, and I said to myself, I've had enough of this sort of thing. Why am I working so hard for someone else? And I'm one of those people who worked around the clock for someone else without any extra pay or anything. It was just, I was in a salary position, and I would work 120 hours a week for them, just around the clock, because I was dedicated to my job. And I thought, why am I doing this for someone else? And that's when I sort of had the spotlight come up. So in the background, I started at nights working on my website because I'd done web design. I'd started businesses in the past, which, just little ones. I've always been interested in the entrepreneurial sort of journey. And I started some websites and done, all the policies and procedures, and started getting all the things that I knew from the industry, because I was a business analyst for other people. And I'd gone through the trial sites of the NDIS, so I had other people get registered. And I thought, so I knew how to do everything and what was needed. So it was definitely something that was passionate. I was very passionate about, working day and night. And the first year, I remember crying at the moon some nights, going, "I wish." And of course, I couldn't. But the main reason I really do it, and what stayed with my heart this whole time, is connections and community. I think that's one of the biggest things in my heart. I want to change the world, and I want to do that through connections and community. And I think as more and more technology comes, we're losing more of that connection and community. So I've made that a passion, and it probably drives my admin staff crazy when we're trying to keep up with rosters. And I'm like, we have to have an event, we just have to have an event, because it's always been the top of my priority. So now I've actually got 2 people employed. I've just promoted one of my staff to that lead, a community manager type role, and a director of community engagement. And that's their jobs, is 2 full-time staff for focusing on making sure our socials are up to date, inviting people, but also to make sure the events happen.
Amazing. And you've got more than 2 staff now. I think, did I hear at one stage you had 300 plus in terms of support?
Oh no, I've got 100. I've got 100 staff. I've got about 14, I think 15. 14 or 15 in the admin team. We just actually came back from an admin retreat. I took them away to Port Arlington. No, not Port Arlington. To Rye for the weekend. We went.
Oh, beautiful!
Yeah, it was beautiful. So we had some like, what was it? Scavenger hunts, and we had a nice dinner at the pub. I was actually feeling a bit sick that night, and it wasn't because I was drinking or anything. I've actually got a bit of a blockage or something going on at the moment. So, but I got a bit sick. So yeah, we left on Sunday morning. But yeah, we had a wonderful time, and everyone. We've got some really funny photos of our scavenger hunts, so look out for that on our socials.
Well, it's just really great that you do that. Can I ask, how long did it take from coming up with that idea on your birthday of, I'm going to start my own company, to opening the doors?
So July was my birthday. It's actually interesting. So July is my birthday, and February we officially registered the company, because I had my first client come in, and I was fortunate to know a fair few people in the industry because of I was on the NDIS trial site, so I knew a few people in the industry. And yeah, I was lucky to be introduced to a fairly big house that we look after and stuff. So it climbed very quickly. I was able to leave my full-time job. I think it was February I started. I think April I'd given resignation. I had 2 years up my sleeve because I never took time off. Or two
Right.
months, sorry, up my sleeve. So started fully paying myself in July again, the following year. And that's when my accountant said, "Yep, you're okay now. You can have your
Wow,
job."
that's amazing. So you got to wake up on that birthday a year later going, I did it.
Yeah. And what's really ironic is a year later, no, 2 years later, we actually had moved out of my home office because I started in the home office with the cats. That was definitely a
Makes
very
sense.
different, it was a very family orientated feeling. Like I remember we got COVID once, so I cooked chicken soup for all of our staff and we had like a COVID party because we all had COVID, but we kept working. Um, but yeah, I remember it got to that point where we had to move to a facility because we'd taken over one of the lounge rooms that had 3 desks in there. I had my office. My son's room had been taken over. Half his room had been taken over by another worker. And then we built a pergola sort of area in the backyard for our boardroom meetings and things, but we'd run out of space. People were
Yeah.
working on my kitchen table and stuff. So we moved into our office on my birthday. So
A
the day
year later. Oh, man, that's so
in
cool.
Werribee. And then it was funny because this year, on my birthday, again a year later after we moved into the Watton Street address, we were being interviewed on my birthday for an award with the Wyndham Council, which we ended up winning. So,
Isn't
so
that
customer
beautiful? Like,
excellence award.
and you've achieved so much in such a short amount of time. So, talk to me a little bit more about the business. What do you actually do? How do you help people? And what sort of people are you targeting and why?
So we've got people all the way from I was thinking it was under one when they started, so
Oh,
baby
right.
all the way to I think 67 is our oldest client. Generally, people don't get on the NDIS and hang on, let me say this again. Generally, people don't get on the NDIS after the age of 65, but if you've been on the NDIS before that age, you can sometimes stay on it, depending on
Right.
situations, on what they want to do. There's a lot about choice and control there. So what we do is we have, like I said, I've got 100 staff all up. So there's probably about 80 of them or 90 of them on the floor
Yeah.
that we call it on the floor sort of thing. So they're the ones out there actually delivering the service. So they go to people's homes. They can help them with shopping, cleaning. Some clients need hoisting and help at home. Some need cleaning in a home. Some need social interaction. So there's a
Right. There's a
variety of
big wide kind of spread of what you
yeah.
would actually do to help people.
Yeah, so we've got clients who are more physical needs, and then we've got the one with more psychosocial needs, and we've got different staff for different, I guess, with different skill sets to help.
Yeah.
And every staff, we try to keep all staff. I'm very big with saying no one's actually. I want to keep everyone sort of happy. I feel like it's a village, and we have to work to try to keep everyone happy. So it's not just about just the clients; it's also about keeping the staff happy as well.
Yeah,
So
totally.
my team, if they want to work with personal care, which is basically, helping to get them dressed or showering them and changing them and stuff like that, they can. But some people, that's not their thing, and that's okay. We'll give them to more psychosocial clients that need that
Right.
help. And there's definitely, we've had the argument sometimes where we've had, what's the hardest shift? Like some people say, but I do this and I should get paid more. And I'm like, well, there's some psychosocial shifts that are very hard too. So, that the majority of people couldn't deal with. So it's very hard with how to work out what people want, but we try to keep them happy with, length of time that they need to get to the client, how long the shifts are, things like that. So we try to work with both the client and staff to make everyone happy. And
It's
obviously we
just
can't always get it, but when we don't, we've also got little things like we send sorry cards to our clients if we've made a mistake or we've done something wrong. Because one of the things with me is I feel like a conversation can help stop a lot
absolutely
of things in life from getting out of hand. And sadly, some of those conversations just don't happen. People don't feel okay to have the conversation that might be hard for them. And
right.
instead it ends up turning into a bit of a war. So when I first heard a client say, I overheard on the phone once a client saying, oh, it just feels like no one cares about me. And
No
that
one even
really
said
hit my
sorry when
heart.
they make a mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, and it really hit my heart to think, oh my gosh, if I was talking to them, I'd be telling them, oh no, whoever it was, Ben, or just say because I don't have a Ben, but oh no, Ben, I really do, because I really do care about everybody. I've got this massive
Yeah.
heart, I do.
I know
And
you do.
I wanted them to feel that they are important. And just because, you know, a client, a staff member maybe got sick on the way to their work, or their tire broke down or something like that, doesn't mean they're not
Anything.
important
Yeah.
to us. So that's when I started the sorry card. So we actually send them a sorry card in the mail. And I think, you know, if more companies did things like this, it would be more beneficial to say they do care, like it means a lot. You know, anniversary cards, happy birthday cards, Christmas cards, we send them all out. People get flooded. But
Oh, that's
you know,
beautiful
it's
though. Yeah,
it's
because
just that connection.
the other thing these days is we never get anything in the letterbox. So
No, we
extra
don't.
special that you're sending and offered to people that are probably quite lonely. So
Exactly. And I think, look, and it's not, to me, it's not even just about disabilities. We have it for our staff as well. So we have events. We have at least a monthly event for our clients and staff. So staff are obviously welcome to go to clients events, but we also try to have one with staff, because a lot of staff are working in silos in this industry. You know,
yeah,
they're out on their own and they might not talk to someone for a while or know any other staff members. So we try to have those trivia nights at the local pub, or, you know, golf night, you know, whatever it is we do for the
so they
clients.
feel like they're in it together. And as you say about community and connection, I think that's super important, especially when for a lot of them would be really challenging job, I imagine. You know,
Yeah.
you want to care for people, they might be resistant, they might be needing extra care, whatever. So it's really about going over and beyond
When
for
I
a
see
lot of
quite
people
often,
in the industry.
yeah, no, quite often they come into the office with the clients, and it just touches my heart every time. I'm just so, I feel like I should be paying to get that privilege of seeing, you know, one of my team members with a client and the way they get treated, and the care I see. It really touches my heart, and it's one thing we really try to do. You can see even behind me, we're flooded. The whole office is flooded with signs of you know, living their best life, make that difference. You know, there's things everywhere we do. And we also have an annual Christmas party, which is like, for the last company I worked at, they couldn't get a sausage sizzle together for the whole, you know, 5 years or whatever
Oh
they've
my
been running.
God, right.
And we've done it every year. So we've had an annual Christmas party, or end of year party for all of our staff. And then we've also had, we don't do it in, we do it in February, which is our anniversary. We have a big party for all staff and clients in the park. So it's sort of like an anniversary / a bit of an end of year party. And we normally have 150, 200 people sort of turning up, and we have,
Wow.
you know, 360 booths. We have the character guy, like we really go all out. We have music in the park, and you put music in the park and a barbecue and people just love it.
Yeah,
Um,
perfect combo.
so it is, that's one of my proudest days, is having everyone there and seeing all the difference we make. And we take over the park in Maribyrnong there, and yeah, it's just been beautiful. So that's a big reason as to why.
I
And
know, but
I think I just
it's so lovely to hear someone who's a boss talking about caring about their staff to that extent, as well as the staff who are obviously off caring for others. So, what an amazing thing you do. So, I'm guessing that you've got some great stories of people that you've helped. And I would love you to share a couple of them. You don't have to name names, but just tell us a little bit about the sorts of stories that you hear about with your staff, and what a difference it's making to people, because I'm sure it's massive.
Look, I have to say the majority of the differences that have really made through people are through my team, the things that they
Okay.
do. And I have to say my team is obviously everything to me. They're the ones who make the difference each and every day, and they're the ones I'm most proud of. And like, even recently when we won the award for customer excellence, I know that was the best award for us to win, because I didn't, you know, best business or anything like that. I don't want to be seen as that. I want to be seen as what we're really about, which is the client experience. And really that's about support workers. So one of the things that I did when we won that award was actually send an email out to all staff to say I'd like to personally take them on a lunch one-to-one to just thank them and their contribution to what they've done.
Oh,
Um,
beautiful.
but that's one thing that's happening. But there's so many stories. I think one actually was one that I've made a bit of an impact for, that I really do love, is she's got agoraphobia.
Right.
I'll call her Mel, for lack of
Which
a
for
better word.
anyone who's listening and doesn't know is a fear of going outside, isn't it? So they're
Yes,
trapped in the house.
it's a fear of going outside. So she has been housebound for quite a while and very hard to go outside. One of the things one of the support workers did, for example, was bring her a VR headset.
Oh,
So that
wow.
was beautiful. So she put that on her, and it had her have that feeling of going outside. So she loved that. We were able to. She had a tiny little TV, so we were able to, you know, through. I don't know if we actually bought that one or what we did to get
But
that
she
TV.
ended up with a bigger TV.
We got her a bigger TV and got that put in. we helped her get a better couch. Her couch was falling, so my partner came in and helped, and she gave him some soaps and stuff. So we've done things like that, and quite often we'll just send a message, and I get all these cats of love hearts about how much we've changed her life, because her other company actually bullied her. They were calling her horrible names.
Well, you hear this kind of thing, and it absolutely breaks my heart, because when you're so helpless and the person that is there to help you isn't helping and is bullying you, where do you go? I mean,
yeah,
you go to the government and say this person's being mean, they probably go, I don't know, tell the hand. We don't really care.
it's so sad. It's so sad. We've made you know, there's been quite a fair few things we've done to make huge changes in people's lives. And then there's ones we can't change as much because of government funding's not there, or you know, our
yeah,
hands are tied. That's hard for us. I know that sometimes, especially at the moment, the NDIS has got a big thing with we're providing services, and then we find out we're not going to get paid for it because the manual claims process, which used to be a thing, is a lot stricter now, and they're not allowing overuse to happen. But if you've got someone with like MS or something that can't get out of bed, and you've got your carers there, and you know that you're probably not going to get paid for this, it's hard for someone like me to pull the plug and say we're not going in anymore, because that person is bound. So we've had to write off quite a few hundreds and thousands now of money, but it's really sad, and I'm hoping this part of the industry fixes up, because you know, it is taking away from the things we want to do, like I said, with events. And you know, we have an art and craft class, for example, once every fortnight in our boardroom here, and you know, those things are really what matters to me. And yeah,
and
just
there are
hoping they
a lot of your patients online. So could they meet in online type events, or are they kind of not only trapped in the home but not technology sort of savvy?
technology is an issue for. It'd actually be interesting to do. That's one thing we're looking to do now that we've got the two girls in contact with the community. We're finding out how many actually do have phones that are actually working. Because there are ones who do have very simple phones. There's ones that don't have phones at all, and then there's ones that are up to date with the latest technology. But I would say in our market it's more like 20% that actually do have phones that are, you know, the majority
Right.
sadly in our community. They might have family members that do though, so there's that still connection.
Well,
But
there's a great woman that I met through She's the Boss, who, I mean, talking about technology, you would think that the advance would be keeping up with the challenges people have. And this was, I can't remember what the name of the service was, but it was about turning your TV into like a phone. So because they've all got a TV in the house, and it could feed in the doctor's appointments and chats with friends through the TV, which I thought was very clever.
yeah, I think look, we're trying to really stay on top. It's such an overwhelming industry right now, but we're really trying to stay
Yes.
the AI industry coming in. We're working with a few people that are really trying to stay on top of that, so we are in a way leaders in that area.
Yeah.
I think there will be changes over the next definitely 5 years. You know, I know
Yeah.
we'll definitely see some things. I just hope that whatever we do see the government supporting, you know, the Wi-Fi, the internet, the 5G services that are happening. I
Absolutely.
know where I actually live. I had to put a Telstra antenna in because I couldn't get service in Point Cook.
And
I
this
could
is just on the outskirts of Melbourne, so there's
yeah.
absolutely no reason why not.
Yeah, and I could see the city, and I had to pay $2,000 to get an antenna put on the house when we were working there, because everyone's phones just died in the streets going towards my house. And my main argument was okay, our business can possibly afford to put this antenna on the roof for us.
But what about?
But clients, and not many people could afford that, you know, $2,000, and it still doesn't work very well. So to me, it's like, make sure that everyone's got access. You know, with accessibility is one thing,
Yes,
maybe
exactly.
through doors and stuff, but we need to make sure everyone's got the right to access, because it is such an important thing. It's like gas and electricity these days. I think internet's a very powerful thing, and I've heard, you know, as we move more into robotics and stuff, I've heard people with the robotics that have come from overseas to us saying this is where Australia is going to fall a little, is because our
Absolutely. We're so far behind the rest of the world in terms of speed. And I was just talking with a friend who's on the outskirts of Canberra and cannot get internet if it rains or if there's any wind, like so many times. And she's like 15 minutes. She can see Government House from her house. And doesn't get it. And so we were talking about going to Starlink, but why do we have to go to an American company that's got a satellite when you know, in Australia, with the size of us and our isolation, you would have thought that they'd put that in for everyone years ago.
Yeah, and I think I tried Starlink. I don't think from my house it was very good. So yeah, I don't know. It's
Challenging. And
it's very hard. If we have
yeah,
patchy internet, it doesn't matter how good AI gets. We need to make sure
well,
it's going to be
that's
strong.
right.
So
You've got to be able
hopefully,
to hook into online first.
yeah. Look, and the other thing is that I've got is with our clients is I think, like, I look around on our wall now. We've got, I mean, there's a bit of a whiteboard there, but you can see, you know, wall that it goes along the whole wall there. You can't really see it there,
Right.
but we've got a whole wall of client things, and I just love looking at them. That's my why, and it's right in front of my face every time I'm having meetings in the boardroom. Now I love it, just seeing all of our, you know, laughing and smiling and having a good time. Knowing that we're in it for the right reasons, I think, is one of the
Yeah.
biggest things for me and even my team. Like the 12 of us, we had such a good weekend away, you know, on a retreat. And we've got videos of us all cooking together and stuff. And there was no instructions. There was nothing. There was someone doing the bacon, the eggs, the crepes. And we all just work well together. And I think that's all I like to see is that community feeling, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good on you for encouraging that bond between your staff, because when you do go away, absolutely, it's very bonding. There's nothing like waking up in the morning in your PJs and seeing everyone else is the same as you.
Yeah.
So I think that that's really important, and I love it that you take the time to do that with your staff as well, because so many people, you know, as you say, are in it for the money. They take the money, they go, fine, I know your life is hard, but bad luck, that's the job you've got.
Yeah.
And you know, not think about, not only if you're in a caring industry where you're caring for others, but that, you know, caring for each other and caring for
Yeah.
staff.
I've had some good training and mentors, and it's been there's so many sayings that I use these days to keep myself sane, if that's what you
Right.
would call it. But yeah, just look, I think the faster you get, the more bugs you'll hit. That's definitely something. Um, in saying that though, too, bugs are protein and you normally grow from them. So I try to look
I like that.
I try to look at it that way. But yeah, I've had a lot of bugs and a lot of life lessons through this business that I never thought. I thought, how hard would it be to run a business this size? And it's hard.
Well, it's
And it's,
massive. I mean, because I want people to understand the size of your business. It's not like a lot of people are doing it with 5 or 10 support workers. Your business has grown as, and how did you grow it that fast? Was it just purely the need and that there wasn't any competition?
I think no, I don't think it was in any competition. I think we got a lot of it's had sad to say, but we got a lot of the people that didn't work with other providers, that the other providers had really made a mistake with. We seem to get a lot of them, and I think me being on the phone and people really getting to know my heart and where I'm from,
Yeah.
and I'm just very, I think, logical, very reasonable. Like I said, if you talk to me, I'm there to try to work things out, and I don't know. I say my CEO qualities are approachable, honest, and fair, and that's what everyone knows of me. So whatever you come to me about, it's not
Well,
going to
great
be
qualities.
yeah, I
Great
spent
qualities.
$1,000 working what that was. Some of the course I did, but they said, "Well, what are your 3 qualities?" And I've got a lot more qualities in caring and all that sort of stuff as well. But approachable, honest, and fair, I'd say definitely. I say to staff all the time, please call me if it's 8 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. You know, I'm the night owl anyway. But if you've got any problems, just call me. If you don't feel like talking about it at work, you know, whatever it is, just because I am busy during the day, obviously. Um, the other thing is, I'm all about everyone, I guess, living their life by design, not default. You know, and deciding what they want and going for it. And
And
I'm
going for
big
it.
about that. And you know, the Lotus flower, even naming the company, it was such a challenge because I know it meant a lot to me to get the right name. And Caring Lotus was um, I really did a lot of research on it and really looked at what the lotus flower was. And it really is about getting too much, you know, it needs to be in mud, where I look at life's obstacles as mud.
Right.
And then water and sunshine are needed to grow. And I look at water and sunshine as supporting tools. And I think what I've learned since starting this is definitely we all have mud. I've had a lot of mud thrown at me in my lifetime and had a lot of, you know, bad things that have happened.
Yeah.
But in a way, they've all happened for me, not to me. I've definitely grown from each and every one of them, and I wouldn't change a thing of going through it all again. When bad things happen now, it's more like I'm glad it happened now and not in 5 years' time when things could have gotten worse for me. Yeah, I just think whatever's thrown at me, there's something to overcome. There's something to learn from. I've got a great mentor, Aaron Sansoni, that I joined last year. Sort of a bit about empire building. So I am big about trying to build an empire of care and wellness.
Oh my
Um,
God, Kerry, you're so
and
gorgeous.
and I've been up on the stage with him, and I said, look, it's not about a Lamborghini. He might have a Lamborghini, and I said, you could take me for a ride in it. But my back, I've got degenerative disc disease. It's not good for my back getting in and out of a car that way.
Right.
But I said, but I want to make. I realize I do want to be. I don't think wealthy, but have a lot of access to money, power, and people,
Because of the
because
way you
that's
can
what makes.
change lives.
Yeah, I can't change the world if it's just me doing one-on-ones with people, but I can change the world if I get more of that power and a following, I guess, to make that change. So I'm in the middle of doing my personal website right now, and really getting ready to do more deals and investments into other companies that will support mine, and also, be a bigger income stream. So we do have more power when we want to talk to government about making sure everyone's got internet, for example.
Yes.
I'm very passionate about homelessness as well, and domestic violence. I've been a victim of domestic violence, and I know I'm actually having lunch, I think today or tomorrow, with someone who runs a nonprofit in that area that I'm looking to possibly partnership with. But I know that putting someone in a hotel room for 3 days is not the solution to domestic violence
No.
issues. And I've gone through it myself, but I've also helped other people go through it, and I just see what the problems were. And I really want to make a difference. I really want to create a village. If anything, I want to create a village, a community.
Well, you're
Around,
well on the way.
yeah,
You're well
that's
on the
what we're
way.
doing.
So, Kerry, I can't believe we're running out of time because I could talk to you forever and ever. If someone wants to, so look, let's do two sides of it. If somebody wants help with NDIS, then where do they go? And then if they love what you're talking about and would like you to come and speak to their people or to talk to you directly, what's the best way to do that? So off you go.
Okay. So the best way to contact us for services, which is in-home supports, community access. We are looking to get into more things in future, maybe housing. That's something we're looking at the moment. But the best way to do that would be through our website. If you go to our website, caringlotus.com.au, you'll
Great.
see a client intake form. There'll be our phone numbers on there and emails, etc. And with me personally, if you write to Caring, and I've got an executive assistant who monitors everything that's sent to me that
Right. So
needs
they
to
can
contact.
contact you via the website.
Yeah. Yes, through the main Caring Lotus website. If they get there and ask to speak to me or set a meeting with me, my assistant will get that
And what
organised.
about socials? Are you on social?
I am. I've got my own social page on Facebook, Kerry Bolton, as
Great.
one of those ones you follow. I'm learning the socials. Like, I've got
Okay.
my personal Facebook, but then I've got the public page where anyone can just follow me. And there's also that on Instagram. And I've sort of started playing with the TikTok, I call it, because they were biscuits back in the day. But I started playing with that. Caring Lotus is on it, and the girls are good at trying to get little fun things up there on the TikTok. And I've got my own personal one, and like I said, my Facebook profile, and I'm also on LinkedIn as well.
Great. Well, all those different ways, but it sounds like the website might be the first chance and then go into the others to see what you're up to.
Yes,
Kerry, thank
all
you
the
so
links on our website.
thank you so much for doing this interview. I really appreciate it. And I love what you do. And I love what you stand for and what you care about. So it's
Thank you,
fabulous
Jules.
for me to be able to showcase what you're doing.
And I
If
have to say,
you my pleasure. If you're watching and you've enjoyed this interview, please come and join us. It's every Monday at 11, and I interview another woman who's doing amazing things. You can also check out what She's the Boss is doing at she'sthebossgroup.com. We have lots and lots of events, both online and offline, all showcasing or targeting women who have established businesses who are looking for connection. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn or join our Facebook She's the Boss group. This show streams through both of them. I'm also a business coach and help women become influential. And I'm a mentor and advisor. So if you need somebody who's got your back, then please get in contact with me. And of course, last but not least, we've recently started a directory for women speakers at womenspeakers.com.au. And I do a live stream every Thursday at 10 that showcases one of those speakers. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me today, Kerry. and I'll look forward to hearing all the amazing